Hello, beautiful people, to 9 R.I.P. with me, your girl No Fuse. I know you've been enjoying the game as much as I have, so I'm going to show you how to unlock all of Kureha's endings. Now, the first thing you're going to choose is talk to your sister Tsubasa, and then afterwards, you're going to meet Kureha for the first time as you hear a strange voice behind you as you walk the halls. But as the story progresses, you're going to see that Kureha is actually not that bad, and he's going to ask to tag along with you when strange things start to happen. Don't be a tough cookie and just say yes. Sorry, I'm scared. After that, eventually you two will meet Hibiki, who's trapped in the mirror for the first time. Pull away. Do not sit there and stare at Hibiki. No. Pull away. After that, you'll meet another ghost girl. And you start to freak out because you've heard rumors about this girl. And you don't know what to do, but, just take a breath and wait and see. Because after you choose that, you're going to find out she's actually pretty nice. And after that, another ghost appears called Seiya, who is the warden of hell. And when he appears and hears the situation, he pretty much says that it's our fault. I mean, of course it's our fault. I mean, we're the only living person in the situation, so of course it is. As you two explore the school, you start to get to know each other better. And Kureha kind of tells you something about his past and how he really just wanted to talk to you for the longest time. After that, you're going to go and find Hibiki again. And you need to convince him to not be so crazy and to help you out so you can get out of the situation. Eventually he'll agree, but Kureha's kind of wary of him because of past encounters. Choose he'll be fine. Next, you're gonna find someone to hang out with. Choose Kureha, who's in the staff room. And after that bonding moment, you're gonna run into a Wrath who attacks you almost immediately, but Kureha saves you. You two run away into a classroom and he kind of says something to upset you, but choose to say, I'm glad it was only a joke. You and Kureha go back to the nurse's office and talk to Yu, who is the ghost girl that you met earlier in the story. You two talk about a wish-granting book, which is one of the 7 wonders. Kureha goes with you, but you can tell he's kind of skittish because he doesn't like scary stories. So choose to have him help to get his mind off things, and you'll get more affection with that. Afterwards, once again, after dealing with the wish-granting book, you have to choose to hang out with someone. Again, choose Kureha. When you get to this scene, choose any of these 3 options to gain affection. Personally, for me, I feel like if you get 2 out of the 3, by just guessing, I think you'll still get Kureha's route. Now, when you suggest to go with Hibiki for finding the next wonder, Kureha is getting a little suspicious, and he asks, are you doing this because you're worried about me? Choose that's right, because if you choose I promise with Hibiki, you're going to be leaning more into the Hibiki route. For this scene, you'll be choosing I'll never forget you. And after that, you're going to get a nice little selfie scene, to commemorate the moment together. This is really nice, really sweet friendship. And then after that's over, you're going to choose who to hang out with. Again, Kureha, who's in the library. And once again, choose any of these 3 options and you'll get max affection. Now, this little lovely scene that you're going to see will happen no matter who you're choosing. Will it be Hibiki or Kureha? This scene will pop up, so don't freak out if you're actually going for Hibiki instead. This is actually part of the story. It's supposed to happen. And then for the last time, you're going to be choosing someone to hang out again, which will be with Kureha in the staff room. And like I've said the last 2 times, choose any of these options to get max affection. Now, you're going to run into Hibiki one last time in the story. And when this happens, he's going to invite you into his mirror world. You're going to choose someday, maybe. And once you do, you have successfully entered the Kureha route. Hibiki is no longer an option after this. You have made that completely clear that you do not see him that way. It's all about Kureha. But the moments between you and Kureha are interrupted when a wrath suddenly attacks you with a threatening message. But Kureha saves you again, but the damage is kind of done. We really rattled at this point. And we are so scared that Kureha decides that at that very moment he wants to confess his true feelings to us, just to distract us. That's how scared we were. Even though you're going to choose next that you're not scared. Well, actually you were, because that wrath is really, really creepy. And just when you were starting to feel better, the wrath pops up again, peeking through you through the freaking door. And at this point, when this happened, I was more annoyed with the wrath than scared. Like, what is your deal? I can't even have a moment with my man no more. Jeez. Get on somewhere. I don't know what was that wrath's problem for the longest time. But we escape the wrath once again and go back to the nurse's office. Everyone starts throwing around their theories. And at this scene, if you choose reliving a painful memory, you're going to activate the bad end, which is hanging in midair. Because after everyone leaves the nurse's office, you stay and you stupidly open the door for the wrath, who comes in and kills you. Stick with I'm not scared. But when you get back to the nurse's office after that, instead of saying reliving a memory, say a memory she doesn't want to come back. After that, everyone will agree with your theory and start to investigate. You'll still stay inside the nurse's office with Kureha for a little bit, and after talking, you will choose again to smile at him. Afterwards, he will leave for a little while. You hear a knock at the door, and it's Kureha. He comes inside and tells you his theory, and you both agree that you both need to explore the school a lot more. But during that time, the wrath once again appears with her shenanigans and tries to deter you and causes more damage. Kureha again saves you, but again the damage is done. You are breaking. The curse that the wrath has put upon you is taking effect. You're running out of time. You both escape from the wrath once again. And the reason why the wrath is on you guys so much is you're getting closer to the truth that the wrath does not want uncovered. The wrath is connected to Kureha's memories, and the more you're getting closer to unlocking those memories, the more angry the wrath is getting. So that's why she seems to just have a straight hard-on for us. You and Kureha escape into a classroom, and you guys decide to wait it out a little bit. And that's when he starts to mention things about events that are happening in the moral realm for me. And he thinks to himself, like, if it wasn't for this occurrence, you probably would have done everything to make your mom happy, even if it cost you unhappiness. When the scene happens, you're going to choose that will never happen. After this scene, you guys have finally found the location of the Forbidden Room, which is pretty much in front of your face the whole time. It's just that the school hid it very well. Why the school hid this room instead of just demolishing it is a huge mystery that is not revealed in this timeline or route. Maybe it'll be revealed in another route, maybe, because it doesn't make sense why they wouldn't just destroy it as they built the school. But they didn't. Instead, they decided to bless the room once a year. But after finding the location, Kureha decides to confess his feelings, And you're going to choose I have feelings for you too. Now, because of all the mental damage you're getting from the spiritual realm plus the wrath mentally attacking you, you decide to kind of pass out in the nurse's office bed, and you expect Kureha to be there. But it turns out he slipped away and went to go face the wrath all by himself. She already knows that this is not a good idea because, one, they don't know what that wrath is capable of. Two, we need to be there if the wrath decides to come to her senses and gives us that last flower for the 8th wonder. So not taking us along was a bad move on his part. But we eventually go to the Forbidden Room and it's going down. We see that Kureha finally has his memories, like he finally remembers what he needs to remember, which causes him to go crazy and start turning into a wrath. By the way, I just want to say his transforming wrath form is really, really cool looking, but we know this is bad. So we try to help him out by saying, please let me be close to you, which brings him back to his senses long enough to, transform back to normal. You guys escape. You all escape. And it turns out that one of the reasons that you were able to survive that encounter with Kureha is because you still had Khalifa flowers from Saya way back earlier in the story. But now they've all withered because you were doing everything in your power to make sure he wouldn't transform into a wrath. Kureha feels bad, but you're going to choose to say there's no need for them, because there really isn't. At this point, you got all the flowers. He's back to his old self. Like, there's really no need for the flowers anymore. They done their job. And then lo and behold, you end up back in the mortal realm. Well, apparently you've been missing for 9 straight days, which is something that I was wondering about when we got spirited away the first time. I was wondering how time was working as she was in the ghost realm. And with her like passing out a lot and her wondering, I haven't been hungry once. I was just like, her mind and her body were probably on different timelines. Her body was probably feeling that she has not eaten, she has not slept, she has not done anything you would do on a daily for the past 9 days. Whereas her mind was thinking maybe a couple hours had probably passed maxed. So yeah, she was missing for 9 days. Now time goes by, she's get her life back together, she worked things out with her mom and all the good stuff, but she still misses Kureha. And the wish granting book comes back into play again, because technically it never granted your wish. It just kind of asked for a trade, because early in the story it asked for your name and it would give you its name in return along with some information, but it never granted you a wish. And I think the book knew that, so it asked, what would you like to wish for? And if you choose allow me to see Kureha, you will definitely get the godly ending, and then you two will live happily ever after, trying to make your relationship work as you're still alive and he is still dead. Okay, this route is actually very short and very easy to get for a strange time again ending. You literally just have to change one little option, and that is to allow me to see spirits when you meet up with the wish granting book again. Allow me to see spirits, and you won't just see Kureha, you'll see all the spirits, like every single one, and they're all just staring at you like, can she see us? Who is this girl? That's basically what's gonna happen, which is really funny because everyone's just staring and she's just like, who are these people? Which also brings me to another question as to why we didn't see every spirit in the school when this was going down? Why is it that only some of them were appearing and not all of them? Was it just because of the episode? Or was it because they were avoiding her altogether? Let me know in the comments on what you think about that. Now, this is how you're going to get the heavenly route. This is the turning point, and you're going to choose to hold hands instead of smile. You'll still get affection, but this will kind of point you more into the heavenly than the godly route. Now, just like the earlier route, Kureha was going to leave to investigate, and eventually he'll come back. You hear a knock at the door, but instead of opening it immediately, you're going to ask him to say the password again, which is your name. After he repeats it, the choice is going to come up again as one last time. You choose that, and that's when Kureha's kind of suspicious. He's like, I know you can hear me, open the door. But it leads to a very nice and sweet scene. And after that, you just kind of choose afterwards, just do the same choices that you did again. Don't veer off too much in case you activate a bad end by accident, but literally just choose the last ones and you'll still get heavenly. And you'll beat the game, strangely. Like, I'm guessing developers didn't think that you would choose Kureha early. Like, they probably thought that you would do Kureha last. I don't know why they thought that, but if you do all this and get the heavenly route, you'll beat the game. Credits will roll. The game will literally act like it's over, but it will still save your progress in the end. Like, so don't worry, don't panic. But I'm guessing because Kureha's on the cover, so he was like, I guess, main bae, which is why that happened. I assumed this was going to happen after you conquer all the characters and all of their endings. But apparently, if you get heavenly for Kureha, you beat the game technically. So congratulations if you want to stop there. Now, for the very last ending that I found for Kureha's route. The hunger ending. This ending I got out of pure curiosity, because there were still a lot of choices that I personally left unchecked, and I just wanted to see if anything would change. And it turns out there was another ending to be found. Now go back to the point where you say smile or hold his hand. And if you've watched the previous parts of this video, then you already know what's going to happen in the story, so I'm not going to repeat that. But I will put down what you need to do down below, and then you'll get all the way to the point where Kureha starts turning into a wrath again. Now, if you choose that his killer is dead instead of the other choice, he'll lose his mind completely, and you'll never rescue the other wrath that's been chasing you. She'll stay trapped in the basement, and Kureha ends up killing you, and you end up being trapped in the spirit realm for eternity. The end. That's all the rest for Kureha, and I hope you've enjoyed the video as much as I've enjoyed exploring the school with my boy here. If you would like to see more videos like this, then you know what to do. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.